It's a great game. Brian Allen stepped up, made a big-time play, but I thought both teams really battled really hard. Ron's done a tremendous job with that group this year. Obviously, they had a complete turnaround, and we knew it was going to be a tough game, and it was going to be a very hard-fought game, and we feel very fortunate to win. But again, congratulations to Ron and his guys. They played extremely hard like I knew they would, and just lucky we had this guy here to make that play at the end.
Brian, was that exactly how things were drawn up during that timeout, and just how did that play unfold from your perspective at the end?
At the top, we was in timeout. We set up for a double drag, try to attack, but also was looking for the kickback with S-Rod. So, as I saw Buck.
Wait, man, we might have to run it tomorrow.
When I saw Buckner on me, I was just like, all right, 5 seconds left, shot clock, just got to get on the rim. And then luckily it just went in, so.
Brian, just talk about the last minute or so. Ryan's out on fouls, Mike's out on fouls. What was it like for you and for some of the other guys to take the responsibility and win the game at that point?
In the last minute, it was just all underclassmen on the court. We knew, so I seen his last go around, we just trying to get him a victory. So they go home with CAA championship just like we won one. So that was the goal, just to win the game for him. Lead the way. Seniors is out. Got one senior DJ, but also we need more of us to lead as a unit. So I just felt like I just need to lead and finish it down the stretch real strong.
Coach, if you could talk about the play Sherrod made with about 9 minutes to go, where he dived on the floor for the loose ball and kicked it out, thinking to Vertrell to made the shot. Seemed to really change the whole momentum of the second half.
We felt like we were playing pretty good defense and we were getting some opportunities, but we were just a little careless in transition. And you just made a great hustle play. He dove on the floor, secured the ball, and made a solid pass, which we weren't really doing much up until that point. And I thought in the last 9 minutes or so, we did a much better job of getting shots on the rim.
For both Paul and Mike, it's yet another really close game down to the wire. It feels like you've probably had about 15 of them this year. Are you guys used to it at this point, or is it something that you would just as soon not deal with going forward here?
We've had a lot of close games, but for me, this one was much different. Just having me and Ryan both fouled out and knowing you have to depend on your team, and you on the sideline, I was over there my head was just going crazy. It was definitely different from any other situation where it's lose and go home. So I'm just glad my team is just so deep and was able to put it home for all of us.
One of the things we've done well all year is execute in the last 4 minutes. And it's interesting because I've heard so much about all these close games. I actually went through the games today before in the locker room, and we actually won quite a few by double figures, but I'll still take 24 tight ones any day of the week. But, we do a good job executing the last 4 minutes. I don't know if it's because of practice or because of Mike's basketball IQ and Ryan's ability to finish plays, but without them on the floor, it's nice to see Sherrod and John Arledge really execute what we wanted to do. John probably set his best screen of the year. He set a great screen, and Brian made a great read. He came around that corner, saw that opportunity, and just attacked the basket.
Coach and Mike, seemed like it was pretty aggressive in the paint tonight, especially defensively. Coach, just talk about Mike's performance down there on the defensive side. Seems like he really controlled things, and then Mike, how you saw things down there as well.
I think he's one of the best defensive players in this league. I think, I've been around this thing a long time now as a head coach, and I'd have to go back to Luke Schentzer, a kid that started on our Final Four team, to find a big guy that has the basketball IQ this guy has. Both offensively and defensively. I think he wants to play some point guard, but I'm not going to trust him. But he's got the mind of a point guard, that's for sure. He's a very, very smart basketball player, both on the offensive and defensive end. And when he's on the floor and he's in the back of our defense, I know we're going to be good.
Real quick. One, when you were at Georgia Tech, was Georgia State really on your radar at all? Were you really kind of in tune with what was going on, and were you familiar with this program?
I'm a basketball fan, so I watch. Obviously, when Coach Giselle was there, they had some great teams. I know Rod did a very good job, and Ron Hunter has come in and done an unbelievable job here.
And then also, there's a stretch of about 5 or 10 minutes, about halfway through the second half, where your defense really just shut down Georgia State offensively. Just talk about what were you looking for offensively to shut them down.
You defensively?
Yeah, I'm sorry, defensively.
Again, I got to give credit to Mike because I was going to change our pick and roll coverage, and Mike said, no, let's stay with this. I think this is going to work. And, we stayed with the coverage that Mike called, and he executed every single time. I thought a couple of fouls at the end here, quite honestly. I was really disappointed because I thought he was doing a great job, and those last two were really disappointing for a kid that's as good as him in his senior year to get 2 fouls like that. But those things happen.
Mike, I know this game has just ended, but VCU is coming up again. It's been a very short period of time to play them. I guess just get your thoughts on that happening again.
Yeah, this game did just end, but as soon as we got in the locker room, we said, now we get the matchup that we're looking for again. It's a great rivalry, I would say. They're a very good team, great coach, just like us. We have a very good coach, very good team, and we're definitely ready to play them again. We won at home, they won at home now. So sort of neutral, still Richmond, but it's a neutral floor here. So, we just ready to correct our mistakes and try to get this win on our road to this CAA championship, hopefully.
Coach, Brian picked up a couple of fouls early, and then you put in Corey Edwards. You turned the ball over a couple of times, got Brian back in. What did you do to coach up Corey? Because he really did a heck of a job for you in the first half.
He's a freshman. Those things happen. His first tournament game, and sure his heart was racing, pretty good. But sometimes you just need to sit down, take a look, take a deep breath, and get back in there. And I've said all year about Corey, he's got a lot of courage. That's why sometimes he'll take some chances. And as he gets older and sees the floor, sees a little more clear, he's going to make some really big-time plays. But he's got a lot of courage, that kid. And it wasn't a matter of coaching him up. It was just a matter of him letting him catch his breath a little bit.
For both Coach and Brian, you guys have the Player of the Year on your team, but this guy sitting next to you here was your emotional leader tonight. Can you talk about what he does for you guys emotionally?
You know what? He is an emotional spark for us, and but again, you can't underrate, you can't oversell, I should say, how smart this guy is. He is a really smart player, and I picked that up early in the year during individual instruction and early practices. When he's on the floor, believe me, it does a lot for these guys defensively because he's talking, he has suggestions when he comes to the bench to call coverages. Again, I'm stunned he's not on the all-defensive team. I really was, but obviously the other kids that got it were deserving. But believe me, again, I've been around this thing for a while. He's as good as I've been around.
Mike is a great player. I really say, played a lot of good defense. I'm on defensive end. I don't know how good we'll be on defense, but smart player, like Coach said. He's very talkative, very loud, active. And he just gets us hype on defense, and we just be ready to play.
Coach, Sherrod Wright's 10 points all came in the second half. What did you say to him at halftime and on the bench? And does he usually do that dunk in practice like he did on the court tonight?
He's had a few of those. If anything with Sherrod, I think when he's more aggressive offensively, it's better for us. I thought in the first half he was a little tentative, wasn't really searching for a shot as much as I'd like. But, he's a good player. He's had a great second half. I think he's averaged almost 13 points a game. He's one of those rare guys that shoots 50 from the floor, 40 from three, and 90 from the foul line. You find a guy like that, he's a very good offensive player. Again, I would hope maybe tomorrow maybe gets off to a little more aggressive start, searching for a shot a little bit more.